Welcome in. It is day 316, and you're speaking with the Meeples Champion. And today we're going to be going over a game that's actually part of my large Kickstarter group for the year. Now, unfortunately, this is not a game I've officially gotten to the table yet. However, when I was trying to really pick out the games I wanted to review as I'm nearing the end here, and definitely getting a little shaky on what I have left for confident games that not only I know how to play, and that I have played, but that I want to talk about, I felt that these Kickstarters that I backed this year could be qualified. I've watched full playthroughs if possible. I've definitely learned the how to plays, read the instructions. I feel confident enough to be able to talk about the games, and I'm excited to share some of them with you. Now, this particular game should be coming out soon. It's been announced that they are right at their final stages. It's hopefully going to start shipping sometime in the next month. The game is called Shake That City. Now, the concept of the game is pretty interesting. You've got this setup of a large grid, 6x6, and every round you're going to be grabbing certain color blocks, well, all the blocks, putting them inside this box, and you're shaking it side to side. Then you are going to lift up the grid, and it's going to have left 9 of them out there. As the person who's the first player, you get to choose any color you want, and that is going to be you only, and you're going to grab the matching type of building. So if you want the reds, you get the red buildings. You want the grays, you get the gray buildings. Now, these are all going to correlate to different types of buildings in a town. So, for instance, the gray is streets. The reds are residences. If you're getting a green, it's for a park. If you're going to go and get a blue, or if you're going to get, I believe there's 5 or 6 colors total, these are going to start to relate to some of the other style of things in the town. Now, everything can score for its basic points. And then there's also going to be scoring when it comes to specialty scoring, as well as line scoring, how much you've filled your grid scoring. When you pick, your blocks are now off limits. You actually remove them from the group. Everybody else is going to pick simultaneously, meaning if you pick 3 reds and then the next biggest number out there is, say, 2 grays, everybody could pick 2 grays, whether you're playing with 1, 2, or 3 opponents. So everybody else is going to pick theirs. Everybody now puts it out. And then you're going to put everything back in the box. You're going to shake it again. The next player's up and they're going to go. So whoever is the person shaking gets the advantage of they pick first and their color is off limits to the other players. They get to eliminate an option while they're picking. However, this is where it gets interesting. When you put the boards out, you actually have to make sure. It doesn't matter if you're sitting on that side and I'm sitting opposite. Your board is made to look identical to mine. They all are going to fit identical onto the actual table. And in the center, you're going to perfectly layer this down. So when you put this down, if your reds are bottom left, directly next to it to its right, and then 2 up in the middle, those are the 3 spots that they have to stay in when you put them on your board. Meaning, you could go put it so that the reds are in the bottom left corner, directly next to it, and 2 up, or shift the whole thing over 1, or over 1, or up 1, but it has to be that exact design. You can't turn it sideways. You can't try and fit it on and only 2 of the 3 make it. If the whole thing fits, it's a valid drop. But if it doesn't, you can't do that and you'll have to pick something else. This is where it starts to get interesting in the game, as you're going to have issues where on certain rounds, depending on how many things come together, you might find yourself in a pickle of, oh no, we weren't expecting there to be 4 reds and 5 grays. So now it's a really difficult grouping to get out. And all of a sudden the first player says, well, I'm going to grab the four reds, so it's 5 grays left, and nobody can fit those 5 the way they're designed onto their board. So you're going to have rounds where people just can't place anything. So it's an interesting game, but I want to talk about our 7 categories and see where this game lands for us. When it comes to the art, with most of my Kickstarters, it tends to be that art is the first thing that grabs me. The opening page usually shows a shot of the box or of the setup. It's one or the other. And in the case of this one, the box really grabbed my attention. I think that the box looks really nice. I like what they're doing for their color scheme, showing off a bit of what the game is, having a little bit of the theme of building a city kind of right there on the cover. And when it comes to the actual design of the pieces, it's basic. It's kind of going in a direction of like Fantastic Factories or Machikoro. But that's a good thing. Those are basic, but they attract the eye of adults and kids. For me, the art's really good. Thumbs up. your components. Now again, I haven't held the game in hand, so therefore I haven't gotten to really see these up front. However, based on what I've seen, it looks like it's going to be a cardboard box for your shaking box. You don't pick this up and shake it. This is a put it on the floor, put everything in it, and you shake it on the table back and forth. I think that looks fine. What's going in it are going to be wooden blocks. I like those. That's fine. They represent the colors matching up to your different types of buildings to put out, which are all cardboard, and those look fine. I think everything looks like a really good quality. It looks like it should be fine. Obviously, once I get it in person, maybe I'll change my opinion. But a lot of times when I see these videos, most of the time they reflect that what you're getting is the same or better. I don't think I've ever gotten a Kickstarter where what I saw in the video ended up coming in worse. So for me, this looks really good. Thumbs up. Your price. Now, it wasn't that expensive to back this, and obviously I had to pay for shipping. Now, shipping will make a slight difference in the price you'll find when it comes to getting it from a store. However, it's only going to slightly upgrade it because they're going to be able to get a whole pallet's worth of games. So depending on if a store has, it's buying probably a pallet worth of a couple hundred games when they're bringing things in, so they'll get a decrease in their overall shipping compared to me buying one item. So the game's probably in the range of 30 to 40, but I could see it being in a store 40 to 50. I could see that hit, but something tells me the 30 to 50 range is where it is. At 30, it's a great game. I think that's a game that's going to fit for kids, for your beginners, and for your experience. I think even an expert will be interested to try the game. I think that it's going to be one that you're going to find is going to be at least available online. It did pretty well with its Kickstarter, so I think it will get into some stores, but we're going to have to see as that time comes. And I think it's one of those games that if you prop it up and you go, all right, 35 or 40, I'd still buy it. 45, I'm starting to get a little shaky. 50, I'm not sure. 50 might be a little steep for this game. But in general, based on where I'm expecting it to land, I would say this looks like the price will be acceptable. Thumbs up. Difficulty. Well, we were just talking about it. I think the kids, I think the beginners, I think the experienced will enjoy this game. And for me, if you get in 3 out of the 4 areas there, that is a big thumbs up. Replayability. The game shouldn't take long. I mean, the likeliness is if you've got 5 colors and you've got 9 spots, you're at least going to be grabbing 2. If you got 36 spots, that means potentially 18 droppings for your turn. And so the likelihood is if you're playing a 4-player game, you're going to get somewhere in the range of 5 to 8 probably is like your average. So a round might be that you have 4 rounds in a game. That's not that long. That means the game's probably 30 to 40 minutes. So for me, I think that the replayability is that you can get plenty of these games in right in a row. Is this one you're going to be aiming for to play multiple times in a month? No. But is it one that maybe 2 or 3 times a year you pull it out and you play 3 or 4 games in a row? I think so. So I'm going to say replayability, thumbs up. Keys to victory. Now, there's a lot to learn here. I understand that there's the basics of how much you score depending on the building type. I understand there's the basics of how much you get in a row or how much of your grid's been filled. I don't understand all the concepts of all the bonus scoring that could potentially take place. That being said, it does look like they're giving you a lot of different options, different ways to attack the board, reasons why you might decide to go for a smaller cube to help fill in gaps, or because you're trying to make sure that the bigger ones are left behind to mess people up and not allow them to place properly. So I think there are keys to victory. Thumbs up. Unique. Is the game unique? Now, off the top of my head, I'm thinking of Tiny Towns as kind of a comparable to this. Not in the way that you shake to get your decision making, but in the way that you have your shapes of different items you can grab that are going to let you place things out. Okay, I'm placing this block as a result of doing what I did. This one I now can create for a small town. I'm going to upgrade. That's what I'm seeing this as. It's not an identical one, but there are other things as well that do this placement feel, that do this building of a town. To me, it's not 100% original. There's some definite originality there, but the unique factor isn't always about being 100% unique. It's about, is something stand out enough? I just don't feel anything stands out enough yet until I really play the game The shaking factor is great and all, but it doesn't really do that much. It could still be just a pull it out of the bag and drop them type setup. So for me, I don't think this looks unique enough. Thumbs down. Overall, what do I think? I think the game looks fun. I'm excited to play it. I'm hoping it comes in soon. And I think that it's going to be one of those games that when it does come in, I'm going to find myself wanting to play with my family, and I'm going to find myself wanting to ask my friends to play. And I can't wait to get a game like that to the table. Well, it has been day 316. We've been speaking about the game Shake That City. And you've been speaking to the Meeples Champion. Like, share, subscribe, and check down below in the description where I'll be adding an Amazon link when this game comes out so that you can pick this game up for your collection. And don't forget to check me out on Board Game Arena, where you can find me under the Meeples Champion. Send me a friend request, send me a gameplay request. I'm happy to play when I'm on. Until next time, I'll talk to you tomorrow.